On what? You race? Poker. Oh. I'd like to call this meeting of April 15, 2026 to order. If I get a roll call, please.
Commissioner Schmidl.
Here.
Commissioner Manuel.
Present.
Commissioner Dosher. Commissioner Marler. Commissioner Dela.
Here.
Commissioner Campbell.
Here. And for the record, both Commissioner Dosher and Commissioner Marler have excused absences. And Mr. Schmidl, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Before we get started, I'd just like to point out that any member of the public wishing to address the commission regarding topics not on the agenda or within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission may do so at this time. However, no action may be taken on any item not appearing on the agenda unless provided for by state law. Is there anybody who would like to address the commission on any topic not on the agenda tonight? Hearing none, we'll move into approval of minutes. Approval of minutes from the Planning Commission regular meeting of March 18, 2006. First and the second, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Approval of minutes is done. First public hearing. Item number 2, public hearing to consider project U24-0017 Sing, a general plan amendment from estate residential to commercial and a rezone from estate residential to commercial industrial district for the 4.21 acre parcel located at 1280 Walnut Avenue, Yuba City, 95991, on the southeast corner of State Highway 99 and Walnut Avenue, south of the, south of the city of Yuba City, on Assessor's Parcel 23-064-011. Applicant owner Pardeep Singh. A mitigated negative declaration is proposed. Staff?
Yes, thank you. Casey Murray, Senior Planner. So this project is a general plan amendment from estate residential to commercial and a rezone from estate residential to commercial industrial for the subject 4.21 acre parcel. So the subject site is located at the southeast corner of Highway 99 and Walnut Avenue. The surrounding area is largely rural and features agricultural, rural residential, industrial, and educational uses. The site is generally bound by a residence and light industrial to the north, Highway 99 to the west with agricultural orchards beyond, Berry Elementary School to the south, and a residence to expanded sphere of influence. And this area was designated as a growth area in the general plan. So it just shows a current air photo of the site. This slide shows existing general plan designations in the area and existing zoning for that area. So no development or use is proposed at this time. The applicant has provided a site plan and landscape plan. All improvements shown are conceptual and will need to be approved as part of a future design review application. So design review is a requirement in the commercial and industrial zone districts and enables the county to consider site design, architecture, parking, circulation, lighting, landscaping, resource conservation, and other design-related issues. Any new commercial or industrial use will require design review approval, which will ensure compliance with development standards. The north portion of this by repairing damaged and unsightly areas. 5 parking spaces, including 1 ADA parking space, are shown on the north side of the building. The lean-to portion of the building may be utilized for 10 covered vehicle parking spaces. Any future commercial industrial use will require paved parking and circulation areas as required by the zoning code. An existing septic area and 10,000 square foot septic replacement area are located on the west side of the top building, and they're proposed to be fenced for protection. As indicated by the Environmental Health Division, the existing septic system does not meet current standards and will need to be destroyed under a permit. At the time the septic system is needed, soil testing will be required, and an authorized professional will be required to design any septic system proposed for commercial use. The existing water well is located on the eastern boundary of the property. A 6-foot tall chain link fence with privacy slats is proposed along the western boundary of the property, set back 15 feet behind existing and proposed landscaping. An existing chain link fence with privacy slats along Walnut Avenue is proposed to be relocated 15 feet south of the property line behind existing and proposed landscaping. A 45-foot wide driveway and gate are proposed. An existing 6-foot tall chain link fence with privacy slats is located along the southern boundary of the property and along a portion of the eastern boundary. So this same fencing is proposed along the entire eastern boundary except where it already exists. The yard area is currently serviced with a combination of compacted earth and gravel and is proposed to be overlaid with asphalt grindings for dust control. The site currently service drains westerly. A potential future retention area is located at the south end of the property, as depicted on the site plan to mitigate increased stormwater runoff. So the landscape plan depicts existing landscaping, which consists of mature trees, mature oleander, and hedge located around the perimeter of the site. New landscaping will include oleander, photinia, and oak trees, and will be drip irrigated. The landscaping plan, consistent with the county's landscaping requirements, will be required as part of a design review application. And then Article 19 of the zoning code contains agricultural buffering standards. With this project, a permanent agricultural buffer is required for any new non-agricultural use or development at the site. A 300-foot agricultural buffer setback is to be maintained on the west half of the site as depicted on the site plan. The buffer setback shall be measured from the property line of the adjacent agricultural property to any new non-agricultural use or structure. So the buffer will not apply to the existing building previously permitted on the site or to accessory uses or structures. The proposed commercial designation provides for a mix of neighborhood, community, highway, and regional retail, office, service, and related uses. This designation is applied primarily within existing rural communities and new growth areas. And during the general plan update, the project site and surrounding area was included within Yuba City's possible future expanded sphere of influence and was determined to be one of the growth areas as where new growth and development should be directed within the county. This project was found to be consistent with general plan policies as it will allow for commercial or industrial use along Highway 99 within a designated growth area, and it will allow for employment and revenue generating land use. So an initial study was prepared for this project in accordance with CEQA. The study determined it could have potentially significant impacts regarding agriculture and forestry resources, air quality and biological resources, cultural resources, geology and soils, greenhouse gas emissions, hydrology and water quality, and noise. 9 mitigation measures have been included to reduce impacts to a less than significant level, and they were agreed to by the applicant. Therefore, a mitigated negative declaration is proposed. Written comments were received from both Michael Steele and Doreen Fuller expressing opposition to this project, and they were distributed electronically to the Planning Commission. And I would just like to clarify that the business advertisement attached to Doreen Fuller's letter is for a business actually located on the north side of Walnut Avenue and is not located at the project site. And I would also like to clarify that this project does not propose a general truck yard, and if one was proposed in the future, it would require either approval of an administrative permit or a use permit, which are both discretionary entitlements, and they would both be subject to additional environmental review. So staff is recommending that the Planning Commission recommend the board approves this project with the findings as listed in the staff report. Take any questions at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Appreciate that. Any questions from commission, starting with Mr. Smittle?
No.
Mr. Dila?
Yes, quick question. The site looks like it's already under operations and it was not intended to be zoned for that, but they're actually doing things they're not zoned for currently.
So yeah, there's no current operation on the site at present.
Okay.
Commissioner Marler?
I just want to clarify that it won't be a truck yard,
Correct.
period.
Yeah, this isn't a,
Berry School.
as before, I said it would require either administrative permit or use permit if they wanted to propose a general truck yard. This is just a general plan amendment rezone.
So just to be clear and to expand on Commissioner Marler's question,
I'm manual, but
I'm sorry, I apologize, that's twice. My head's like a
I'm
basketball.
not as old as that guy.
You're better looking, though. Commissioner Manuel, a truck yard would be permissible if they were to submit for a use permit and design review. Is that correct?
Well, it'd be administrative permit for a small general truck yard, which is 5 or fewer trucks and trailers, or it'd be a use permit for the large, which is more than, would be 6 or more.
6 or more? Okay. All right. Does that clarify?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Through the chair,
Sir?
maybe I could offer comments from the department. So the department has met with the property owners multiple times over this use. A little bit of history for Mr. Commissioner Delia. So back a long time ago, this actually used to be a weld fabrication shop. So it actually had a commercial use. The general plan update in 2008, 2010, the county designated it as a state residential, current zoning that it has. The eastern portion of State Route 99, just north of Berry School, kind of almost to Bogue Road, is commercial. And there are some other various uses. The property owner, we've had, as a result of their submittal of this application, so, we've had multiple conversations with them, and they are aware that the county and our department would actually never support or process an application for a truck yard. There's a quick denial process, for example, that we would bring it through. They've provided information, and they'll be able to speak for themselves, but they already have a commercial tenant for the property pending, consideration by your commission and the board.
Thank you, sir. I have just a quick question, and going back to the previous use with the truck yard. I know at that time there were issues with unpermitted improvements on the existing structure, and I don't recall whether or not those had been mitigated, addressed, but I'm assuming that if they're still there, that would be a part of an occupancy permit for any future use. Is that correct? Thank you, sir. Any other questions from commissioners? Hearing none, I'll open the public hearing. If there's anybody in the audience at this time that would like to speak on this, please approach the podium. Make sure that you press the red button and speak clearly. State your name and address. I have a few that I'm going to call first, and then after that, if there's anybody else who'd like to speak, you're welcome to approach the podium. So first I have Sarbjit Singh. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Sarbjit Singh. So we own the property. So I know we don't have no plan for truck terminal or truck yard. That's for sure. So we want to use this property for parts store. So the parts store, we are already talking to a few tenants. So we want to bring more revenue to Sutter County and create more jobs. So this is our plan.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the commissioners, or we'll wait till afterwards? Thank you, sir.
Any question?
We're good. Thank you. Mr. Jim Whitaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to speak on behalf of this project. I've actually seen this project for a number of years. I mean, even when it came to the Board of Supervisors when I was on here. The applicant has gone through a lot of things through this board. Obviously, the public at some point said no truck yards. We heard that message loud and clear. It's kind of comical is that when we voted on the project just on the other side of the highway, they allowed truck yards, and I was opposed to that one. And then Legend Trucking came in, but they were allowed to do those truck yards there. And then this gentleman was a client, and he wasn't allowed to put truck yards on his property. Understandably, because of the proximity of the school, and I get that. But now he's asking for a commercial business. I think it mirrors everything along that highway corridor, and so I can fully support this. And like I said, he's done everything possible to adhere to the rules and the policies that the board has set for us. So I'm in full support of it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Aman Dudwal.
Good evening, gentlemen. Name's Eamon Dudwalt. So just bouncing off of what the previous two gentlemen spoke about regarding this project, Like I said, or like what they said as well, it's pretty clear that we don't want any truck yards here. So that's what we're going with, is no truck yards. And like they said, the few tenants that we do have, they are going with the parts department. So they'll be pretty much just retailing parts for cars, trucks, whatever type. And going off of what Mr. Jim Whitaker said, it does align with all the other businesses that are going around that 99 corridor near Berry. And so that would just, at the end of the day, bring more revenue for the county, jobs. So I would just say that I hope you guys see that there's a growth in this, and you guys just approve this for the commission. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And finally, Manjit Bungal. Oh, we have one more after that. I apologize.
Members of the Sutter County Planning Commission, I can't believe we're here again for this situation again. The Planning Commission has already denied the request for change of zoning to industrial use 5 years ago. Why are we allowing this applicant to apply again? Key points. A legal truck yard business since 2017. Applicant had 6 notices of violation and a lawsuit. All of them were ignored by the applicant. June 2021, owner applied for a zoning change, and the Planning Commission, June 16, denied the application, a unanimous vote. August 10, 21, applicant appealed, and it was denied again. The applicant should come back with a specific project for approval. I understand that they're saying it's going to be a packing. I don't mind commercial, but I'm opposing to industrial because I've seen it happen in our neighborhood. I am located at Oswald Road off Orchard Avenue, and most of those truck yards came in with an ag use for trucking. And, once they're situated, they slowly progress to another advancement. And that's how, they've got their trucking businesses there. Barry School is right next to this truck yard. That was what they are a business of truckers. They may say we're not putting a truck yard out there, but they are truckers. I'm not opposed to truck yards, but they need to be in a specific location. 113, we've talked about it. There has to be some other way apart from putting it right next to, the school. We've already put traffic lights at Oswald. Are you guys willing to spend another $11 million to put lights again on another intersection? Because there's going to be accidents with people pulling in. People say that, this is what they're telling you, but they will change their mind. We've seen it happen. I've lived at this property for 16 years, and I've seen so many people lie at the beginning. And guess what? There's truck yards. We've got probably over 10 truck yards in my neighborhood. School is right there. I've got grandkids that go there. I just don't, fumes, cancer. There's so much from these, truck yards that we're getting in the air. And like I said, I don't oppose to the commercial, but I am opposing industrial because I know it will go to a truck yard eventually. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, Sukhvinder Bungal. Could you make sure that, thank you, sir. Could we?
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you, sir.
Sorry about that. Member of the Planning Commission, if there's some way we can say that this will not be a truck yard, I can support it. I live in the neighborhood. We fought against a truck yard a long time ago. It was a mess trying to get that truck yard removed. There were so many processes. It got very, very heated. People got into it. It was like, I wouldn't say it was threatening, but it was very threatening. And I was here at those meetings. And like I said, I don't have an issue with like what they're saying. If they're truthful, that's what they want. They want a parts place, storage place. I have no issue with that. I don't know if you need industrial for that. Maybe commercial would be, maybe the development department can say, can they operate a parts business there if it's just commercial, not a commercial industrial? Because industrial allows other uses which are discretionary for the development department. You guys won't be involved. So if they, later on, they have that designation, they can come in and say, we're gonna put in a ag truck yard. And they can put 5 trucks, they can put a repair facility there, and you won't be exposed to it, the Board of Supervisors won't be exposed to it. Development department can issue a use permit or an administrative permit. So that's my only concern. If we can put somewhere in writing saying that, hey, they can't put a truck yard, I fully support this. I don't have a problem with that. But I've seen it happen. When I moved into my place, there was 1 truck yard, and that was Mr. Dillon's truck yard. And that was okay. There was only like 10, 15 trucks. It's not a big deal. But then we got Legend, we got Sangha, we got Basra, and it's like we have 9 or 10 truck yards there to the point where we couldn't even get on the road. Now that they put the traffic light in, it's more doable. You know, it's more livable. But that's my only concern. Like I said, industrial use for that property, what they're saying, that's not a problem. What I see is that retention pond right next to Berry School, I don't particularly like that because then you got all these pollutants going into the industrial, and then the kids are playing right next door. There's a playground there. I have 2 grandkids that go to that school. So that's my concern, is that I don't want a truck yard, especially there. There's no light there for trucks to safely get onto the road, and that's my concern. But if it's gonna be a parts store, I have no issue with that. And if there was a application that was like for a parts store or something like that, then I would say no problem. That's what it's for. That's what they're gonna do. That's my concerns.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to speak in favor or against? Go ahead and please take the podium, man. And would you state your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Jamie McBride. I live at 1201 Walnut Avenue, so I live doors down. I will say I have 2 children that go to that school that proposed at the end by Berry School. I will tell you right now, I have kids in track and sports and all of that. That is right up against where, one, the kids hang out during their, because it's a K through 8, right? So you have the teenagers that are hanging out right there against the fence. So that was my concern before when it was a trucking company. I will say that I don't know if there's any statistics, but the accidents that have happened right there along 99, right there up against Berry, have significantly gone down since the trucking company has not been there. Coming on to Walnut from 99 is already a dangerous because of the semi trucks that do come out from the north side. On the other side of Walnut right there. But it's very just concerning that now we have all of that school traffic. Our road is the highway for the school. And our road already is deteriorating. Like, you barely can get 1 car down without somebody pulling over to the side into the gravel. And that is just very concerning because, again, I have 2 kids that walk to school. And so when you're gonna put a business on the corner, that now more cars are gonna go down our road. And we've had telephone pole taken out in 115-degree weather almost. And so, having all that traffic just going down our road, like I said, is just deteriorating our road. Like, it's not, I get that it's right off 99, they're gonna get right back on it. That's not a guarantee. And that, again, is we have school that's in session, kids coming, different times of the day, walking. We have a lot of kids in our neighborhood that walk. And it's just a very big concern having a commercial business, I feel like, on that corner, especially when I believe that at Bogan 99, that is all now becoming commercial as well. So it's just more and more traffic. That is the biggest concern. If it is gonna be a parts business, I'm not concerned as in the semi trucks and the, as much as the air quality, if it's just gonna be something that's used for maybe a store. But again, I'm opposed to having a business there. It's against the school. For me and my kids' safety, I just don't feel it's appropriate. So I don't know. The other thing is, has the school district been communicated about the business being put in? Do we know that?
I'll have an answer for you for that after we close the public hearing.
Okay.
Thank you.
And that's all that I have. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate your input. Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to speak in favor of or against the project? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing, and I'll open it to the commissioner, starting down with Commissioner Dila. Any comments for staff or?
Yes, I do have a comment. Since you have a commercial tenant coming in, what is the reasoning behind the commercial industrial zoning? Why do we need the industrial rider on that?
That was what they proposed, was the CM zoning, so I'm not exactly sure. We don't have an exact use type that they're going to apply for yet, but
Okay, is there any way to put a condition on that so that industrial use is not allowed at that site?
well, you'd have the CM zone that allows uses that are permitted within that zone. Most of them are commercial, some are industrial.
Okay, so there's no just strictly commercial versus commercial industrial combined.
The step down from CM would be just the general commercial, but that would be a different zoning altogether.
And their tenant wouldn't fit within that zoning?
It's possible, yeah. I mean, it does allow for general retail, but like again, when we got the application, we didn't have a use that was associated with it, so.
Okay.
Commissioner Manuel?
So I just want to be clear, is this state residential right now, and we're going to change it to commercial?
Correct, yeah. State residential, it's never been developed residentially. It did have a manufactured home on the property at one time, but yeah, so it'd be from a state residential to commercial industrial.
So in theory, we could grant it to the COM, the commercial designation.
Yeah, it's actually proposed to be the COM general plan designation, commercial, but the zoning is CM, which is commercial industrial.
Industrial. So there's no way to differentiate it.
No, I mean, the CM zone is compatible with the commercial designations. That's what's been applied for.
Okay, thank you.
Through the chair,
Yes, sir.
maybe I could also offer some further clarification of our zoning code. So as far as industrial-specific designations, we have the M1 and M2, light industrial, heavy industrial. Those classifications are not being sought by the property owner for this property. So it's the term, the commercial industrial, the way it's designated in the zoning code is the way it was developed some time ago, but consequently, the county developed M1 and M2 zonings that are for what would be considered a light industrial, like if there was some type of manufacturing. And the county is proposing, we've shared with your board, regarding M1 is, in the past, had been zoning for truck yards prior to 2019. That was the zoning that you needed. So that would not qualify as this zoning. Even in 2019, you wouldn't have had a truck yard at this location because of that zoning. And the changes were that a truck yard anywhere in the county requires a use permit, which is a whole nother process and a whole nother consideration by your commission.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Smittle?
I have no questions.
No questions. To address your question regarding notification, is it 500 feet? Notice goes out 500 feet to all property owners? Caltrans, I'm certain that the school district was notified.
So yeah, when we routed this application, it does go to the school districts, Caltrans, and then also goes out 500 feet when we do the public hearing notice.
Okay. And there were no comments from the school district to Berry School?
No,
And anything from Caltrans? I didn't see anything in the,
we didn't receive any comments from
okay.
Caltrans. When we
All right, so no comments there either. I'd just like to say that I think Commissioner Manuel and I were the only two commissioners here for the last hearing on this when we denied the project to allow a compliance with the existing truck yard there. And given the history of the client, and it wasn't an issue of it being a truck yard. I think if you were to go back and look at the minutes and we're at those hearings, it was an issue of performance and compliance with the current operator landowner with the mandates issued by the district attorney and the planning commission repeatedly. And there was actually neighbors who were in support of that particular use. But the decision was made at that time not to allow it. I know there's concerns about another truck yard being brought back in there. You know, I can only say that we hope that we can trust in the process. As our planning development director has pointed out, anything 5 trucks or less, correct me if I'm wrong, would require an administrative permit, which his department is adamantly not in favor of. Anything above that would have to come to this commission, and we have historically not been in favor of that happening either. So with that being said, I have nothing else to add. If everybody else is good, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve it.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion to a second by Commissioner Manuel, and those in favor. Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Schmidl,
Aye.
Commissioner Manuel,
Aye.
Commissioner Dela,
No.
Commissioner Campbell.
Aye. Motion passes. Well, moving on to item number 3, we have a public hearing to consider project U24-0023 Hereford, a request to rescind a development rights agreement to return development rights on a 115.49 acre agricultural remainder parcel in the AGSB Agricultural Sutter Buttes Overlay District, located at 9030 Pass Road, Sutter, California. Zip code 95982 on assessor parcel number 13-200-108. Applicant owner is Richard and Tiffany Hereford. A mitigated negative declaration is proposed. Staff?
Thank you. Luis Enrique Hernandez, Assistant Planner. Good evening, Commissioners. The project before you is a request to rescind development rights agreements to return the development rights to an approximate 115 acre parcel, which would allow for the construction of a single-family residence. The subject parcel is zoned Ag SB with a general plan designation of Ag 80. The project is located on the south side of Pass Road at 9030 Pass Road, cultivated with walnuts and olives. The subject parcel surrounds the property owner's home site parcel that's approximately 2 acres with an existing single-family residence. Access to the property is provided via an easement connecting to Pass Road, as the parcel does not have direct frontage on a county-maintained road. The surrounding area is primarily agricultural with rural residences. All surrounding parcels are similarly designated Ag 80 and zoned Ag SB with some F Park zoning to the south and west of the parcel. In 2003, the Planning Commission approved a tentative parcel map to divide an approximate 117 acre parcel into a 2 acre home site parcel and an approximate 115 agricultural remainder parcel. As a part of that approval, a development rights agreement was entered and recorded on the remainder ag parcel to prohibit any additional residential development consistent with the general plan policies at the time. The applicant submitted a request in August of 2024 to rescind that agreement to allow the construction of a residence on the agricultural parcel. The project was previously considered by the Planning Commission in October of 2024, where there was a recommendation for denial made. The Board of Supervisors later remanded the project back to staff to complete environmental review and further analysis. The project overview: the project would allow for an additional residence on the agricultural remainder parcel. However, under Ag 80 general plan designation and the county zoning code, the only one primary residence is permitted per 80 acres. Considering both the home site and the remainder parcel, the property is currently limited to 1 dwelling unit, which currently exists on the home site parcel. Allowing an additional residence would exceed the permitted residential density and would not be consistent with the general plan policies related to the agricultural land use. An initial study was prepared In accordance with the CEQA guidelines, the study identified potential impacts with the cultural resources and noise, and a mitigated negative declaration was prepared with mitigation measures to reduce impacts to less than a significant impact. The document was circulated for a 20-day review period through the state clearinghouse and published locally. No comments were received. However, because staff is recommending denial of the project, CEQA does not apply pursuant to section 15270 of the CEQA guidelines, which exempts projects that are rejected or disapproved by a public agency. Staff is recommending that Planning Commission recommends denial of project U240023 to the Board of Supervisors based on the findings outlined in the staff report, as the project is not consistent with the general plan or the Sutter County zoning code. I'll answer any questions you might have at this moment.
Thank you, sir. Do we have any questions from commissioners? Commissioner Dela?
No questions at this time.
Commissioner Smittle? And none from me. Thank you, sir. At this time, I will open the public hearing. If there's anybody that would like to speak in favor of the project, you could do so now. Please approach the podium. Mr. Whitaker, I have you as speaking on this one as well, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jim Whitaker, AIP consultant on this project. Once again, we're back on Pass Road. And so basically, the applicant in 2003 had applied for a home site parcel to be put on this property. So in 2003, they meet the variance requirements and they get approved to put a home site parcel on this particular piece. So now, father and son are farming their property. They're in the farming business together, and the son wants to put a residential on this piece. So, going back, Mr. Chairman, in August of 2024, August of 24, we submitted the application and went to the Planning Commission and went to the Board of Supervisors. Now, Mr. Chairman, you will know that I'm a former supervisor and I can count to 3 pretty quickly, and that I knew I had 3 votes that night of support. So in December, when it comes to the Board of Supervisors, Development Director, Mr. Neil Hay, calls us out along with my applicant and says, hey, if you pull this item from the agenda, we can bring it back in 3 months with a favorable review. I asked my clients at the time, is there a timeline that you want to get this stuff done? And they said, no, there's not a particular timeline that we can have this done. But if it's coming back to the board in 3 months as a favorable review, we'll go through it. We'll take the recommendation of Mr. Neil Hay of Development Services. So now we're in 2026, all right, 2.5 years later, and it's coming before your Planning Commission, and I get an email saying, oh, you know what? Because of county council, we have to say that we have to deny the project. It's just a bad way of doing business. You know, it's just a big mistrust of government as far as I'm concerned. I mean, why wouldn't I be given the opportunity to at least have a meeting or brought in as a discussion? But now, after 2.5 years, we're being told, oh, now we have to go for denial. So I understand, you know, the board, the commission's going to look at this project, but I would, you know, strongly suggest that you look at, you know, basically based on the farming community and what's going on with farming in Sutter County, that you approve this project. I'm pretty sure when it's going to go to the board, that's going to be approved. So with that, I'll entertain any questions you might have.
Thank you. Any questions from any of the commissioners? Mr. Whitaker? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the audience who would like to speak in favor of or against this project? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission. Commissioner Smittle?
I have nothing.
Mr. Dela?
Yeah, the main objection to this is it's just not part of the plan. Is that?
Commissioner Manuel, any?
No, I'm just going to, since I just took my ethics test 2 days ago, I'm going to excuse myself from the vote on this.
Okay. I just have a couple of questions. So, and just so we're all clear, was there a separate parcel created when they were given permission to build the home site and entered into the development?
The 2003 parcel map created a separate home site parcel.
Okay, all right. So that left the remainder of the 11549, correct?
Yes, and that's what the development rights agreement was recorded on.
Okay. And so in order, and I'm just walking through the progression of available avenues, to split that piece, that in an 80 and then a 35 acre piece, that 35 acre piece would not be consistent with the general plan, is that correct?
So in order to further subdivide a 117 acre parcel, you would have to have two 80 acre parcels as a result of that. So if this was a 160 acre parcel,
Okay.
then that would be further be able to be subdivided.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Thank you, sir, appreciate it. I have no more questions. Do I have a motion to approve or deny recommendation to the Board of Supervisors on this project?
I'm abstaining.
We have an abstention from Commissioner Manuel. Commissioner Dealy, do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve this project.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second? Can I pause that motion and get clarification from County Council? Removing, currently right now, they're not permitted to develop on that property, correct? If the development rights agreement was rescinded, then they could have one additional home on that 115 acre piece, correct? That's directed at County Council.
I believe, excuse me, I believe that's correct.
Okay, thank you. Sir.
Mr. Chairman, just one clarification. The applicant will want to speak on the issue of the loan. Go ahead.
I just wanted to clarify, obviously, it's getting development rights back is something I think people worry about. We're trying to do this. We bought the parcel, it was one parcel. When we built our house, it was on the one parcel. Because we're farmers and had to have loan situations, we had to have our house on a separate parcel. That's why we came and got the 2 acre parcel. It's done that way. And our son wants to build a house, and we've got, the whole thing's not planted, but the majority of it is farmland, and we want to continue farming. And so that is the reason he wants to build a house on our farm. That's why we're trying to get this project done. Not for any future development, nothing like that. It's all about wanting to keep our family in one location and farm.
Thank you. Appreciate that clarification. All right, so we have a standing motion by Commissioner Dela to approve. I'll second that. Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Schmidl,
No.
Commissioner Manuel,
I abstain.
Commissioner Dela,
Yes.
Commissioner Campbell,
Yes. Motion carries to recommend approval to the Board of Supervisors rescission of the development rights agreement. Thank you. And finally, we have item number 4, public hearing to consider project U25-0005 Fernandez, a use permit to allow a major home occupation for a deck coating business storing materials within an existing structure and a contractor's office within an existing residence on a 1.72 acre parcel within the estate residential zoning district. 669 Stewart Road, Yuba City, California, 95991, located approximately 122 feet north of Camino Avenue on assessor's parcel number 101-065. Project is exempt from CEQA. Staff?
Thank you. Once again, Luis Enrique Hernandez, Assistant Planner. Good evening, Commissioners. The project before you is a request for a use permit to allow a major home occupation for a deck coating business, including material storage within an existing structure and a contractor's office within an existing residence. The subject parcel is approximately 1.72 acres and is zoned estate residential with a general plan designation of estate residential. The project is located at 699 Stewart, and the site is currently developed with a single-family residence and multiple accessory structures, including a 7,200 square foot metal shop. The surrounding areas consist of rural residential uses. The surrounding properties are designated and zoned estate residential with a mix use of rural residences and agricultural uses, including uncultivated land. This parcel was previously created in 2015 through a tentative parcel map, which divided an approximate 3.44 acre parcel into two parcels, including the subject 1.72 acre parcel. The proposed project would allow a deck coating business to operate as a major home occupation. The business would utilize an existing accessory structure for an approximate 400 square feet of material storage, with the remaining area used for personal storage. The proposed project would allow the home occupation includes a contractor's office within the residence and limited on-site activity. Materials stored on site include gypsum cement, concrete paints, and other related materials. Deliveries to the site are expected once per week during normal business hours from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The applicant has indicated that no more than one employee would report to the site, and the employee would pick up materials at the beginning of the workday and return as needed. No exterior signage or visible evidence of the business is being proposed. Parking will be provided consistent with zoning code requirements, including additional spaces for the employees associated with the home occupation. The project is exempt from CEQA pursuant to section 15301 of existing facilities. There's no expansion of the use that would cause a significant impact. Staff is recommending that the Planning Commission approve project U25005 based on the findings and conditions of approval included in the staff report, as the project is consistent with the general plan and complies with the Sutter County zoning code. I'll answer any questions at this time.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Manuel, any questions?
No, sir.
Commissioner Schmidl? Commissioner Dila?
No questions.
I just have a question. I just, given my history, not just on this commission, but years as a planner and as a developer, did the applicant come in of their own free will, or were they prompted by a visit from code enforcement?
This is a code case.
Okay.
The previous code case.
History stands. Thank you very much. I was going to say it was kind of rare when people step up to do the right thing and pay for the permits they're supposed to have in place before they do these kind of things. Okay, I appreciate that. I have nothing else to add, or I will open the public hearing. If there's anybody in the audience at this time that would like to speak in favor of this project, you may do so now. Seeing none, is there anybody that would like to speak against this project? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission. Mr. Dila?
No questions.
Mr. Manuel?
No questions.
You guys are being easy on me tonight. I appreciate it. Mr. Schmidl?
No questions.
No questions. I have no further questions at this time. With that, I will entertain a motion to approve pursuant to staff's recommendation or deny.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion approved by Commissioner Schmidl. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Commissioner Manuel. Hey, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Schmidl,
Yes.
Commissioner Manuel,
Aye.
Commissioner Dila,
Yes.
Commissioner Campbell,
Yes. Motion carries. The project's approved. Congratulations to the applicant who's not present, but I'm sure you'll let them know, and thank you, sir. Moving into the next portion of the meeting, we have miscellaneous business from commissioner staff. Anything from you, Mr. Hay?
Yes, through the chair Through the chair and commissioners, once again, thank you for your attendance this evening and participation and great questions from the various projects we considered. To update you on some of the projects going before the board and coming before your commission, April 28th, the department's presenting the annual progress report for the housing element to the board. At the Board of Supervisors, May 12th, there will be the consideration of the Singh General Plan Amendment that you heard this evening regarding the estate residential property. And we're having a public hearing to increase the fees for the Natomas Basic Conservancy mitigation. 2026, they have some updated fees. They went up about 1%. So we'll share that with your commission as well. On May 20th, at the Planning Commission, you'll be presented with a use permit amendment to modify a condition of approval for paving at a truck yard. Not this one. And you'll also be considering a use permit amendment to modify conditions of approval on a previous project. At the Board of Supervisors, May 26, the project regarding the Smith Event Center is going to be considered by the Board of Supervisors. That's been scheduled with the applicant and their consultant. And then the item, the Hereford Development Rights Agreement discussion, that will take place before the board, and we present that item. Separately, the department is actually preparing and presenting a whole topic regarding development rights and kind of their status here in the county. And then in July, for the Planning Commission, we're planning to bring before you zoning code amendments to the special needs and farm worker housing. The county received a letter from the state HCD regarding our housing element and our annual report. Additionally, about ADU regulations that need to be updated to assist with the housing element. And then there will be zoning code amendments regarding variances and dwellings. So we will look forward to these upcoming meetings, and we appreciate your attendance and participation.
Sounds like a busy summer. I would just like to take this opportunity to thank staff. You guys, once again, have done a great job. It's good to see new faces, right? Purple, color of royalty. I like it. It's one of my favorite colors. I went pink tonight, a little purple, so you and I are in line there. I want to thank you guys for being easy on me tonight as I sat in as acting chair in Chairman Dosher's absence. I will keep in my prayers for successful back surgery, and that Commissioner Marler has a great vacation and returns to us happy and healthy. And with that, if nobody else has any comments, I will adjourn the meeting at, looks like 6:54. Thank you.